Artificial intelligence is getting ready to take over the industry. It's something we've been telling you about Hollywood for years. Many did not believe us. Now, the Walt Disney Company, after all of those negotiations and strikes by guilds, is getting ready to stab them right in the back. And how? By turning to AI. Sorry, animators. Sorry, CGI. A new job we hope you can find. Hello, folks, and welcome. We are here to give you what is the latest in entertainment news, analysis like you will not find anywhere else. And yes, put a feather in our cap for getting this one right yet again. But it's not one that causes us to grin, for we worry, we fear for those who are going to lose their jobs in this. Disney is going straight forward, head first, into artificial intelligence to make their movies, their cartoons, and more. Today we'll talk about it, explain it to you, and we've got a panel that knows exactly what we're talking about. As we get ready to dive in, click the like button, and here we go. And this is out of, let's see, who do we have? The Wrap. And it says Disney poised to announce major AI initiative exclusive. The studio will focus tech efforts on post-production and VFX. Now, folks, we want you to go read this, get into it. We're going to give our own analysis. I will say, well, we'll read the first two paragraphs. Okay, how's that? Adam Chitwood and Sharon Waxman are the authors here. We'll slide that on over so you can see those paragraphs. The Walt Disney Company is poised to announce a major AI, that's artificial intelligence, initiative that will transform its creative output. Individuals with knowledge told the Wrap on Thursday. The initiative is said to involve hundreds of people at the company and will primarily focus on post-production and visual effects, which, if you are an animator or if you're a graphic artist, run for the hills because your time is drawing nigh, I would say. Guys, this is what the entire walkouts, the strikes, all of that we suffered through for years, that's what this was about. And I said at the time, I said this, and pick a hole in it if you want, tell me where I'm wrong, prove that I didn't know what was happening, but I took a lot of heat. Not since I'd said the Acolyte was going to be real have I taken so much heat in declaring that the walkouts, the strikeouts were all about trying to prevent artificial intelligence from taking their jobs. And guess what, gentlemen? It did not stop it. Here's why this actually, I think, should scare the industry beyond the CGI artists, the graphic artists. It's because this is the beginning. It is not the end. It is the first step. And that first step by Disney is to have AI come in and make Ant-Man Quantumania not look like that ever again. They don't want any Marvel movie to ever look as bad as they have. And they're turning to AI. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you think that Bob Iger is going to say, hey, guys, don't try to find a loophole in those contracts with the guilds. Hey, don't get artificial intelligence to come in here and write these scripts or clean them up. Think again. They will put these productions wherever they need to in the world. They will do whatever they need to do in order to sidestep this and to get AI to do the things that are not being done very well and at high expense. And if that means that Moana is going to be CGI'd in the future by AI, if that means that Captain Marvel is going to be marvelous because of AI, so be it. In every single way possible, the industry is about to be revolutionized by artificial intelligence. But isn't it fascinating that Disney waited until all of those guilds, the Directors Guild, the Writers Guild, they had to wait for SAG-AFTRA and everybody to be happy, got the contract, happy, to then say, oh, we don't need you, we're turning to the robots. Guys, am I wrong on this, or is this where we are headed truly?
Well, if that's the case, then the Butlerian Jihad is next, so...
I think that Bob Iger, obviously, he probably delayed the strikes by at least 3 months. Delayed the end of the strikes by at least 3 months with his comments that were made. He also lowered the standard of the Walt Disney Company in the eyes of the press for a pretty amazing period of time. Usually, they were eating out of his hand, like he was the second coming of Walt himself. The way they talked about him versus the way they talked about Bob Chapek. So I think if he came out and said that they were doing a major AI push this time last year, we would have another 2 or 3 months of strike. Um, this is the kind of thing that is going to be of great benefit to the Walt Disney Company. And I've said this on other streams. There's a video coming out later today on that Park Place talking about the reaction of certain high dollar figures that are working with Disney right now, and how maybe Disney has another shoe that's about to drop on them over this. I think that this is something that Disney has to do because they are no longer a creative company. They are 100% creatively bankrupt at this point, and AI is only going to reduce the cost of the flailing that they do after they realize they've got a lackluster film on their hands.
But what about whether or not this stops with the CGI, which is what we're being told, right? The Disney initiative that will involve hundreds of people. We're being told that these super prompters, they're just going to be prompting about virtual effects, right? They're just going to come in. They're going to use their little Photoshop abilities to use AI to do whatever they need for a frame or two. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's it at all. I think this is the beginning of the transformation. So am I wrong about that, guys? Or, should writers now feel confident and say, oh, it's just the artists, just those artists, they're the ones losing their time? Or should the guilds begin thinking about the next cycle, ensuring that they continue to exist?
I think you're 100% right. I mean, we were talking about earlier that Elon is investing massively with NVIDIA. I think doubled his processors with them to chase this AI race that is happening. Obviously, we've also already seen with Disney, they did the whole Secret Invasion opening credit scene. They admitted that was all done with AI, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we've already kind of seen them embrace this stuff. I don't think it's unsurprising that they would continue to do this. I think this is what's going to happen. And honestly, they're kind of hamstrung with this because they do have to work with the guilds and the unions and stuff, because people here on YouTube, people on X, they are not. And they are going to embrace these technologies, and they are going to be competing with them. They already are. I know you love to point this out when you bring up the Nielsen nice little pie chart that they have, and shows you where people are watching, and it was like over 10% are on YouTube, and it's like between Disney and Hulu, it's like 5% or something like that. So this is the future, and it's already here.
Well said. I also wonder, like, I'll give you a for instance. Doctor Strange, there was an effect that was used in the Doctor Strange films, and I don't know the name of the specific effect, but it wasn't the mirror dimension effect, but it was the moving of buildings and existing structures in a very specific special effect and style that they did in Doctor Strange, the first one. I don't remember if they did it in the second.
Trying to ape Inception.
Right. Like. But they stole that style, or were aping the style of things that were out there on the internet in order to do what was already being done as a proof of concept out there by other companies. I think that anyone that puts out a work that is truly innovative on YouTube is probably in danger. First of all, from just a creative writing standpoint, they can have a human steal very easily from someone like that. But if you have an AI examine all of that and take in something like YouTube, if I were a company like YouTube, I would be signing those contracts with Disney to say that they aren't going to be stealing from YouTube. Or maybe I just gave them the idea that they're going to go ahead and make some kind of deal to say, no, as long as you upload it on YouTube, Disney is legally in the clear. So I think they're going to steal from everyone. Again, creatively bankrupt, and the only thing you can do when you're as bankrupt as Disney is steal and borrow from other places.
Yeah, the one thing that I think that kind of will be interesting to see when it comes to the AI stuff and how it gathers from various sources across the internet is how it deals with copyright law. Obviously, we saw Ron in the chat earlier. I do think that we've already seen, I feel like, some cases already being kind of waged in the court system. So we'll see how they kind of move through the court system and how that works. And I think that's probably where a lot of this stuff is going to end up, is in the court system, and whether or not it moves forward. I have a feeling that the tech is still going to be all. I mean, it already is kind of commonplace for the most part. I mean, you can just look at a lot of people's intros and their outros. They're using various AI technology to create those things, and people seem to like them, and it's kind of already being used widely for the most part. And I think it's going to be hard to put a stop to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think what's going to happen sometime in the near future is there's going to be legislation that says on what level this is okay and what level this is not okay. So the companies like Disney, Universal, probably Warner Brothers as well, are going to come in, and they are going to put their thumb on the scale with the lobbyists and try to find some way that makes it okay for them, but not okay for anybody else out there. And I think that if they're not careful in how they write that legislation, it's going to open the door for us common creators to do whatever we want. So I think they're going to try to beat us all off. Beat us to the pass here and try to block whatever us normal creators would try to do. Again, I've mentioned it a few times. I'm doing an MCU rewatch, and the shine really starts to come off of that series somewhere in phase 3, and then after a certain point, you can tell they just lost all sense of narrative purpose, all sense of drive in there. They were confident that if they just keep showing up and keep putting certain images on screen, the fans would just eat it all up. And I see this AI initiative as just more of that, like the insistence that, well, if we just copy this over and over and over again, a copy of a copy of a copy, people are going to keep showing up. I think they're in for a rude awakening on all of that.
Well, I mean, it didn't work in Multiplicity. I mean, what's wrong with Steve?
I'm going to say Michael Keaton was pretty funny in Multiplicity.
He was. Good film.
There you go.
Yeah, no, look, the problem is that we've already had too much regurgitation of the same stuff. That's basically what people are tired of when it comes to comic book films. Especially with the reboot of male characters into female, the audience is done, and Disney's going to have to do something because they have no creativity anymore. So they have to dive into AI's rework of previous material, because that's all AI does. It just takes something else and repurposes it in a different way. And eventually you're just going to get around to everything feeling and sounding the same. It's being done in music right now. Miley Cyrus stole a couple of different better songs to make one of her recent pieces of music. And it's
They've been doing that for a while in music, though. Let's be honest, where they
this isn't just sampling. This is literally stealing outright the music makeup of like an individual song. I mean, I think
what are the chances that in 2025, let's make it more interesting. By the end of 2026, an AI music artist is on the top 40. What's the chance?
I think it's already done.
I think it's here already. They just haven't admitted that it is.
Oh, you think that it's AI and they're just calling it Dua Lipa, right? This is like that South Park episode or that South Park season where Randy was. Who was Randy in that season?
Lord. He was Lord.
Lord, yeah, that was so funny. Better than the Stevie Nicks stuff. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for now, but don't worry. Do not fret. Not yet, for more content is still coming your way 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We hope you feel the same. Adding value to your every single day is our job here, and we take it very seriously. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is that you consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it. Stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. And folks, if you'd like to subscribe to our partner YouTube channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and some of those radio stations like Vacation Radio, well, we certainly would appreciate it. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time and being invited into your day, folks, we go on our way saying this: keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.